Hello everyone! We're having a bit of a change in the series. You see, I'm going to be doing it on my alt from now on, simply because some of the stories don't work as well in New Game Plus as I would like. So say hello to Mali the Vieira. Ain't she just the cutest? Don't worry, my main is and will probably always be a tiny Vieira. After all, I feel the world just feels a little bit odd when you're this high up. But it's time to continue our journey. This is a retelling of the Final Fantasy XIV story, with a little bit of a lore focus. So if that is something you are interested in, make sure to do all the good YouTube stuff. And subscribe, because I'm currently trying to get up to 2,000 subscribers, and it would make me very happy if you could help with that. Now, last time we were playing, we went to kill Titan, which led to us traveling around to prepare a massive banquet, so we could then get into the cave Titan was in to kill him. And we did. We were then asked to go back and report it to the Maelstrom and return to the Waking Sands for a victory party. Thankfully, I got fast travel tickets to the Waking Sand because that place is a pain to go to. But oddly enough, Tatro is not by the entrance. No, in fact, no one is here. Everyone is dead. As we walk through the Waking Sands, the bodies of comrades and Garleans alike litter the floor. While we don't see any of the main scions here, we do see many of the people who were living at the Waking Sands and had just joined up like us. As we make our way to Minfilia's office, we find it empty outside of Noraxia. She's laying on the floor. She reaches out to us, trying to give us one last message that she was entrusted with. And the echo helps us. We see her final moments, how the Garleans invaded the Waking Sands, how our friends were kidnapped, how Minfilia surrendered, trying to plead for the safety of others, and how the Garleans didn't care. Instead, they kicked Noraxia, they killed our friends, all because they were looking for us. And this is the first real traumatic moment the Warrior of Light faces. For me as a player, it was a huge thing to encounter on my first playthrough. And for Mali, well, this is horrifying, but we all know this is just a tiny taste of all the trauma to come. While up to this point, we had definitely gotten some hint that the story of this game can get quite dark. This was the first kind of direct proof. It forces us to face the horror we are dealing with, and I think it sets the tone quite nicely for the story to come. Now Noraxia sadly dies after giving us the message, though she manages to tell us one final thing. We need to take shelter at a church. This is the Church of Saint Adamalandama, which is located near Camp Drybone. We make our way to the church, and notably we have been here before during our quest line related to Ifrit. Now this church is named after a wealthy man who achieved sainthood in the eyes of Naltal through his unequaled philanthropy. Apparently he saved his town using naught but his wits and wealth, though the chapel itself was actually commissioned by the merchant of Ul'dah to put those souls who perished in the calamity to rest. And while at the time this place was meant to be just for those who died at the calamity, there are still regular burials here today. We meet up with the priest, telling him of our order's fate. He has a history with Minfilia, so he's of course willing to help, and offers us to stay around at the church, asking a man named Marquez to help us out, to make sure we're okay. Now Marquez is actually a very interesting fellow. He was at the Battle of Cardenou 5 years ago during the calamity, but something addled his mind, so he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't know who he is. But one thing is known, he is very good with his hands, being able to repair all sorts of things. And he is actually at the moment wanting to repair something quite unique. He has found a broken horologe on a dead body, and he wants to fix it so it can be buried with the owner. But to do so, he needs specialized tools, so he gives us and sends us down to Camp Drybone to talk to the goldsmith there to see if they can sell us some specialized tongs and tools. We make our way down there, and I don't know, but I think we are overpaying for these massively because the merchant just got way too excited when we handed him the money. Still, we got the tools, so we make our way back to Marquez, who fixes up the horror log, claiming his hands almost move on his own, and this makes him quite distressed. After all, he is a man who does not have any memory, and he doesn't know why he can fix this. How would his body know how to fix this? He tells us the body is to be buried by Sister Elune, so he tells us to take the device to her. And when we do that, he tells us this is a Garlean device, meaning the poor dead man may even be a Garlean spy. And that really won't do. It is both alarming that Marquez can fix it. It is both alarming that Marquez can fix something that only a Garlean should know how to fix, but more that we might have spies around here. So he claims he will go and inform the authorities, and tells us that our friends are being removed from the Waking Sands soon to be brought here for burial. And we can wait here if we like, or she believes it would help us if we go and assist. A way to get some closure for our loss. And then she gives us a staff as a reward for the quest. It's a nice looking staff. It's not really gonna make up for our friends. But we take her up on a word and head to the Waking Sands, where we find the guy who's in charge of moving the bodies from the Waking Sands to a carriage. They've already gotten the bodies outside, and he tells us that we are lucky to not have gone inside. It is quite the massacre. This guy is actually very insensitive, and he seems to believe we actually work for the church. He has no understanding that we actually know the people there. So we are given the job of moving the bodies to the carriage on our own. That's dark, but okay. So we move the bodies to the carriage and return with the carriage back to the church, where Sister Elune happily receives all the bodies, except Noraxia. She believes it would be more appropriate if Noraxia would be taken to their home. So we head to Little Solace with Noraxia with us, and tell the Sylphs about their loss, how they were brave, how they tried to protect everyone, and how they brought the final message. And they are devastated, of course, and swear to make vengeance on the Garleans. I would not want to be those, because the Sylphs can actually be quite scary. After saying our goodbyes to the Elder and the Sylphs of Little Solace, we return back to the church, where we are now given glasses. They're blue, matching my jacket, which is lovely. And we go find Marquez to see if he needs any assistance, and he tells us he feels like somebody's watching him, and he doesn't like it. And this is especially alarming because we just probably buried a Garlean spy. So we make our way around the Lich Yard until we actually come across a Garlean, who we beat to death. After we take him down, we hurry to the church to inform the priest, who asks us to go down to Camp Drybone to inform the authorities of what's happening. But before we can even do that, Alphino Levier shows up. And this boy just comes in being a little pompous bastard, to be honest, and proceeds to tell Marquez that his name is actually Sid. He is the guy who makes airships. And that Sid owns an airship. And then we have to go find the airship. And he just kind of throws this on this poor man in like a matter of 3 minutes. So while Sid is reeling from all of this information, we are told the Ixal have summoned Garuda, a massive icon of wind that is apparently stronger than anything we have fought so far. So Alphino has a plan. As the 2 remaining Scions, we are gonna find Sid's airship, which apparently was last seen during the Calamity flying over the Black Sarau towards Coerthas. So we know it's somewhere in that direction. That's what we're gonna do. Our goal is to take Sid with us, who seems to be regaining some of his memories, head up to Coerthas, find the airship, and then kill Garuda. Sounds like a plan. So we make our way to Gridania, get a room for the night, and get ready to find our way to Coerthas in the morning. Thank you so much for watching this little retelling. If you enjoyed it, make sure to do all the good YouTube stuff. And whatever you end up doing, I hope you have a lovely day.